exotic world.
Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the world of medicine to uncover the 10 most brutal and deadly diseases known to science. Viewer discretion is advised as some of the content may be disturbing, from terrifying hemorrhagic fevers to ancient plagues that continue to haunt humanity. These diseases represent some of the biggest threats to global health. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and get ready to explore the dark side of medicine as we count down the top 10 most brutal and deadly diseases you need to know about. First up, we have Ebola, a name that strikes fear into the hearts of many. This deadly virus first emerged in 1976 with outbreaks in Sudan and Congo. Ebola spreads through direct contact with bodily fluids of an infected person or animal. It starts with flu-like symptoms, fever, headache, muscle pain. As it progresses, it can lead to vomiting, diarrhea, and severe cases of internal and external bleeding. The fatality rate? It averages 50%, but can reach 90%. Our next contender is a close relative of Ebola, the Marburg virus. First identified in 1967 in Marburg, Germany, this virus shares many similarities with its infamous cousin, including its transmission methods and terrifying symptoms. Just like Ebola, Marburg spreads through direct contact with infected bodily fluids and materials. It also presents with similar initial symptoms: fever, headache, muscle aches, making it difficult to diagnose in the early stages. As the illness progresses, things take a turn for the worse, with severe diarrhea, jaundice, organ failure, and hemorrhaging. There is no specific treatment for Marburg virus disease, and the fatality rate remains alarmingly high, reaching up to 88% in past outbreaks. Next, we have a disease that has haunted humanity for centuries: rabies. This viral infection attacks the central nervous system, ultimately targeting the brain. Transmission typically occurs through the bite of an infected animal, with dogs being the primary source of human rabies deaths globally. Early symptoms of rabies can be quite deceptive, often mimicking the flu fever, headache, general weakness. As the virus spreads through the nervous system, things take a dark turn with anxiety, confusion, hallucinations, insomnia, and eventually paralysis. Once symptoms appear, rabies is almost always fatal. That's why it's crucial to seek immediate medical attention if you've been bitten by an animal, especially if it's a wild or unfamiliar one. Moving on, we have a disease that has had a profound impact on global health: HIV/AIDS. This virus weakens the immune system, making it difficult for the body to fight off infections. HIV is primarily transmitted through unprotected sex or sharing needles. In the early stages, HIV may not present any noticeable symptoms. As the virus progresses, it weakens the immune system, leading to opportunistic infections. While there is no cure, antiretroviral therapy allows individuals to live long and healthy lives. Our next contender is a disease that has left an indelible mark on human history: smallpox. This highly contagious and deadly disease, caused by the variola virus, was responsible for millions of deaths over centuries. Smallpox transmission occurred through direct contact with an infected person or contaminated materials like bedding or clothing. The virus would enter the body through the respiratory tract, leading to severe symptoms like high fever, headache, and a distinctive rash that progressed to fluid-filled blisters covering the entire body. But here's the good news. Smallpox is the only human disease to have ever been eradicated. Thanks to a global vaccination effort, the last naturally occurring case of smallpox occurred in 1977. Next up, we have a disease that highlights the importance of keeping our distance from rodents: Hantavirus. This virus is found in rodents, especially deer mice, and can be transmitted to humans through contact with their droppings, urine, or saliva. Imagine cleaning your attic, stirring up dust, and inhaling particles contaminated with hantavirus. Hantavirus infection causes flu-like symptoms, including fever, muscle aches, and fatigue. In severe cases, it can progress to hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, a life-threatening respiratory illness. Always take precautions and avoid direct contact with rodent waste. Dengue fever is a mosquito-borne disease, making its presence known globally. Transmitted through the bite of infected Aedes mosquitoes, it also spreads Zika and chikungunya. Dengue fever starts with a high fever and intense joint and muscle pain, hence the nickname breakbone fever. Symptoms include headache, rash, nausea and vomiting. Severe cases can develop into dengue hemorrhagic fever, characterized by bleeding and low platelet count. Early detection and proper medical care reduce severe complications. Take precautions to prevent mosquito bites in dengue-prone areas. Our next contender is a disease that thrives in conditions of poor sanitation and contaminated water: cholera. This bacterial infection, caused by Vibrio cholera, spreads through contaminated food and water. Imagine this. You're in an area with limited access to clean water and sanitation, and you unknowingly consume contaminated food or water. Cholera is notorious for causing severe diarrhea and vomiting, leading to rapid dehydration. In severe cases, it can lead to electrolyte imbalances, shock, and even death within hours if left untreated. The good news? Cholera is preventable and treatable with access to clean water, sanitation, and hygiene. Treatment typically involves oral rehydration salts, or ORS, to replace lost fluids and electrolytes. Next up, we have a disease that has plagued humanity for centuries: tuberculosis, or TB. This bacterial infection, caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis, primarily affects the lungs, but it can also spread to other parts of the body. TB spreads through the air when an infected person coughs or sneezes, releasing tiny droplets containing the bacteria. These droplets can linger in the air for hours, potentially infecting others who inhale them. In the early stages, TB may not cause any symptoms or may present with mild symptoms like cough, fever, night sweats and weight loss. As the infection progresses, it can lead to coughing up blood, chest pain and difficulty breathing. The good news? TB is curable and preventable with early detection and treatment with antibiotics. That wraps up our journey into the world of 10 of the most brutal and deadly diseases known to science. If you found this video informative, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content. Stay safe and stay informed.